Go love your own enemies. Don't be loving mine. My enemies are the theocratic fascists. I don't love them. I want to destroy them.
Child made in the image of God. Oh no, you're not. You're a faggot. And you can't join your church and you can't go to heaven. This is disgraceful. It's inhuman.
Hello. Okay, this video, I have to warn you, I have to forewarn anybody watching this that this is a stomach-turning subject. I had a hard time. This guy shared an article on Facebook, and I was at Denny's and I was trying to read it. I got about maybe a paragraph in and I had to stop because I was eating my breakfast. It's like, on Facebook, I had written, there's a thing called, Did Prophet Muhammad warn the U.S. of ISIS? 1400 years ago, question mark. I wrote, prophet? LOL. Being a prophet, was that when he wasn't bedding and robbing of her childhood a little 9-year-old girl? So then someone named Inara Chad wrote, she was not 9, and he put a little chart up describing apparently her age or whatever, and I put bullshit. And then I wrote, not only was she just a little child, but grown men following this slimeball's example are continuing to ruin little girls to this day. And then we're not enunciating well, we're kind of just, you know, okay. Somebody named Stephen Wallum wrote, well, he shared this article. Yes, it's really quite disgusting. The article is called "The Prophet Muhammad Practiced Thawing His Child Bride Aisha?" question mark. Thawing on his child bride Aisha. Okay, so let's read this article, shall we? Now let us see how it is practiced on a female child and who began this evil practice. According to an official fatwa issued in Saudi Arabia, the Prophet Muhammad began to practice thawing his child bride, Aisha, not sure I'm saying that right, when she was 6 years old until she reached 9 years of age. Fatwa, sorry, number 31409. The hadith, which was quoted earlier, this is apparently only part of an article and somebody shared it, mentioned the Prophet Muhammad started performing literal sex with Aisha only when she reached the age of 9. Sahih, S-A-H-I-H, al-Bukhari, Book 62, Hadith number 89. Therefore, Muslim scholars collectively agree, by virtue of divine example, a child becomes an adult available for sexual intercourse as soon as she reaches the age of 9. Likewise, the Sharia allows any of the faithful to marry a 6-year-old child. Isn't that special? According to, see, women, we're nothing but livestock. You can break them in. You can start breaking them in at the age of 6. And by the time they're 9 years old, you can go for a ride. And who cares about their childhood? I mean, we all get one shot in life at getting to be innocent, happy, inquisitive, mischievous, playful children. Not these little girls. Anyway, that was a side note. That wasn't the article. This makes me seething angry. Really, really angry. According to the fatwa, the Prophet Muhammad could not have sex with his fiancée, Aisha, when she was 6. You think? Due to her small size and age. However, the fatwa said that at age 6, he would put his penis between her thighs and massage it gently because he did not want to harm her. Of course, we don't give a rat's ass what emotional harm we are causing. No. Imagine a man of 51 removing the clothes of a 6-year-old girl and slipping his erect penis between her thighs, rubbing her until he ejaculated and his semen ran down her thighs. To this day, this is considered a benevolent act on the part of the adult male not wanting to harm her. What harm could be inflicted upon a young girl mentally and emotionally if not a grown man showing her his penis and stripping her of her clothes and rubbing his male organ between her legs? Of course, the twisted mind that does such an evil to a female child would not hesitate to ejaculate on her body. And if this sexually perverted evil frame of mind committed such an act upon a child, the pedophile would not stop at ejaculating on her. His evil desire would go further and rape the child before she was a mature adult. This is exactly what Muhammad did to Aisha when she was yet a child of 9. Pausing for a moment, trying to think back what I was doing when I was 9 years old. Was I even remotely interested in sex? Was I even thinking about sex? Was I even interested in boys yet? Was my life just filled with the happy day-to-day whatevers that a little kid has? You know, who am I going to play with today when I get home from school? You know, what favorite toys am I going to play with? What TV shows am I going to want to watch? Gee, what are we going to have for dinner? You know, these children are robbed. These little girls are fucking robbed by these perverted pedophile men who are following in their prophet's example. It's just, ugh. Okay. Before she reached puberty, he began to have sex with her. Let us see what the fatwa said about the Prophet of Islam and his child bride, Aisha. Praise be to Allah and peace be upon the one after whom there is no, parentheses, further prophet. After the Permanent Committee for the Scientific Research and Fatwas, religious decrees, reviewed the question presented to the Grand Mufti Abu Abdullah Muhammad al-Shamari. The question forwarded to the committee by the Grand Scholar of the committee with reference number 1809 issued on 3/8/1421 Islamic calendar. The inquirer asked the following. It has become widespread these days, and especially during weddings, the habit of I'm going to have to spell this word. MUFAKHATHAT of the children, and then it says this word that I just spelled, literally translated means placing between the thighs of children, which means placing the male erected penis between the thighs of a child. What is the opinion of scholars knowing full well that the Prophet, the peace and prayers of Allah be upon him, also practiced the thighing of Aisha, the mother of believers? May Allah be pleased with her. After the committee studied the issue, they gave the following reply. It has not been the practice of the Muslims throughout the centuries to resort to this unlawful practice that has come to our countries from pornographic movies that the kuffar, infidels, and enemies of Islam send. As for the Prophet, peace and prayers of Allah be upon him, thawing his fiancée Aisha. She was 6 years of age, and he could not have intercourse with her due to her small age. That is why the Prophet, peace and prayers of Allah be upon him, placed his penis between her thighs and massaged it lightly. As the Apostle of Allah had control of his penis, not like other believers. Fatwa number 31409. Thawing of children is practiced in many Arab and Muslim countries, notably Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Iran, and the Gulf countries. These countries are notoriously known for this evil practice. There are many more such evil practices like ultimatua bil al. I'm sorry. These names are so. I can't even. It will take me all day to spell this guy's name. Like, okay, the first name Altamata, middle Bil, last Almufakhaza. Oh, it's not a name, it's in parentheses, pleasure from sexual contact with her thighs. Okay, again, a bunch of this, it's like they're repeating the same. Then there's another word that's incredibly long that I'm not going to spell, that's similar. Pleasure from sexual contact with her breasts. And another word that's incredibly long that I'm not going to spell. Parentheses, pleasure from sexual contact with the baby girl. Oh, and then there's another word that's very similar but also incredibly long. Pleasure from sexual contact with a suckling female infant. Apparently it's so common they have actual words for these things. Reported by Bahraini. Me trying to read Arabic sounding or appearing words. Bahrini, women's rights activist, Gada Jamshir. Sorry, I am mispronouncing everything. Ghada, last name Jamshir. These are all different styles practiced on the female child by placing the male erected penis in different parts of the child's body for getting sexual pleasure. A quotation from my new book, The Child Bride and the Old Man of Arabia, and then there's a link. And then we have some pictures of a little girl and a little sign that says Muslims may marry 6-year-olds. So yeah, sorry for all the mispronunciations. I was really angry and I wanted to get home and read this and share this article. And I didn't really give much thought to how many impossible to pronounce names and words would be included in this article. I try not to make videos with articles that have a whole bunch of really impossible to pronounce words. Even if I took these names and I tried to put them into, like, there's various places on the internet where you can try to get the pronunciations. I highly doubt most of these words I'd be able to get a pronunciation for because they're not English words or names. But I'm sorry for butchering these names and these words so badly. But the gist is, oh, it's illegal for men to do this, but it's perfectly okay for Muhammad because he had control, unlike other men. And yet they do apparently do these practices enough that they have actual terms for these various practices. Because what are girls and women really, according to this religion? Cult. What are they really? They are there for the men's pleasure. When men die and they go to the Islam version of heaven, if they're martyrs, they get, what, 70 virgins coming to their beck and call gee, is that the first of all, these 70 virgins that apparently reside in heaven, are they just like hanging out in a room waiting for a martyr to show up so they can go and let him rape them? You know, what about the virgins that have died that went to heaven, virgins? Is that what their heaven is like? Well, guess what, girls? You get to be fucked by every martyr that comes, and maybe they stay eternally virgins because now they're in the afterlife. And their duty in this afterlife is to be continually fucked by every martyr that shows up there. Wow, that's the heaven for those girls. Kind of like the life that girls get to have on the earth. What is your purpose in life, girls? Well, you don't get to pick who you don't get to fall in love like other people. You don't get to fall in love and have a romance and have somebody sweep you off your feet and make you feel wonderful about yourself, and you can't wait to see this person that you're in love with. You don't get to experience natural love, that whole part of your life. You don't even really get to experience childhood, really, because at 6 years old, when I was 6 years old, that's when my dad died, and I had to go. I was still playing on toys in the playground at my school. I was a little kid. I was learning how to talk and, well, how to talk better. I was, in grade school. 6 years old. You're not even, I'm sorry, I'm really old. I'm out of touch. I never had children. 6 years old, I'm just entering first grade, aren't I? What are first graders taught? What kind of stuff are first graders learning? They're learning, probably they've learned the alphabet. They probably learned the alphabet in kindergarten, but they're not very advanced yet, are they? Do they know how to tell time? What do 6-year-olds do? They sit in front of, they play with little simple toys, and they learn their primary colors, and they draw things. They color coloring books and simple things. Learning how to ride a tricycle. Or you could be one of these lucky little girls and married off to some old pervert who sticks his fucking penis between your thighs and gets off on it. You get to have your childhood robbed. You get to lay in bed at night in terror, waiting for this thing to come into your room and abuse you. And it's perfectly legal for him to do this. And you get to have that for 3 more years. What kind of childhood do you have after that? All the way up until age 9, and then you get to be fucked for real. Forget having a childhood. And it's all okay because this fucking asshole Muhammad did it. Who's supposedly a prophet. May Allah bless him. Anyway, this article made me very angry, and I wanted to share it. So anytime you hear a Muslim say, oh no, Aisha, or whatever her name is, wasn't 9. Bullshit. I'm pretty sure she was. Apparently, according to all these things from the fatwa that talks about it. So anyway, it's incredibly hot here in Seattle. I'm cranky because I don't like, this is not, if I wanted to live in an oven, I would have moved to California, and I'm really kind of sick of the hot weather here. And I really badly want it to rain. So if I sound extra cranky and snarky, that's why. So if you've been watching, thanks. Bye.